Hello, NeXT community. So, as you all know, I'm working on the display that's going to be at grooverlabs.org in Wichita, Kansas. And Tracy, the Kurt's wife. Kurt was a developer of Lotus Improv, and so he passed recently. It was pretty emotional, just us talking earlier, because my dad's in the hospital. Good news there. He's in good spirits. They're removing cancer from his urethra, and they actually had to drain the blood. I'm sorry, I'm going off topic, but it's been a rough couple days for a family. But he is in better spirits, and hopefully will be home tomorrow. And I'm having trouble getting around, obviously, with my fractured hip, but I'm going to be going to Denver on the 8th or close enough for a doctor's appointment, and I'm going to surprise my mom and dad. So I thought, he was in the hospital today, the July 4th here. So sorry to ramble a bit, but let's get back to what Tracy brought. As her husband passed from pancreatic cancer, and Groover Labs is really neat. If you check out their website, grooverlabs.org, what they put together it's like 42,000 square feet, and it's dedicated to where entrepreneurs and developers and creators and can get together and share their ideas. I mean, they've got work spaces for and 3D printers, and you can rent cubicles very reasonably. It's in Wichita, Kansas. It's a great idea. Really is. I think there's something. There was something called We Work or something, but this is different than that. This is just kind of something they put together, and then so at any rate, the display. I've got Kurt's equipment here. Kind of been going through it. So let me show you guys what I've got here. Now, Sungwon is a good customer, and he's working on some neat stuff. And of course, it seems like stuff like this always manifests. So this letter is specific. He was looking for documentation on 2.1, and I wasn't sure about the documentation sets. And here it is spelled out exactly so that we'll know what we need to get for him. And it looks like it's, I want to say it's a 6 or 10, manual set. And so I'm going to go through and match the part numbers up with what I have, Sungwon. So that's good news for you. And I thought I'd go through just a couple of these documents here. This is interesting. I hadn't seen this one before. Where NeXT shipped 6,000 CPU in the first quarter. I believe this is 91. And also talks a little bit about the color stations they're just releasing. So we never heard much about actual shipments. And then there's the software release 2.1 announcement. It's amazing how this always happens when somebody's looking for something specifically. I'll get the exact thing that they need. It's kind of just the universe, man. And so I was thinking, well, did they ever release Improv for Windows? I wasn't sure if they pulled the plug. They must have. Kurt was one of the developers at Lotus. He created Lotus Improv. And here we see a release 2.0. So I'm going to kind of go in and maybe poke around for that. If there's a 2.0, there must have been a 1.0, and it must have been released. So that kind of answers my question there. And then we've got some, specific documentation related to development. Looks like he was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, working for Lotus out there. And so she said, yeah, we're working out a trade where I'm going to really take good care of him, because this displays, it's an honor to do it, actually. So she said, yeah, I'll bring some documentation here. And wow, a lot of stuff I haven't seen before. Here's a set of .9 docs, and I think this is a developer course manual. It gets much better. So I'm hoping that on one of these Bernoulli discs, the source code may be on one of these for improv. I'm really hoping it is. And I think I've got a Bernoulli drive, but in looking through the specs, I need one that's a 150. And I think Steve Wentz, if you're out there, I think that's what you shipped me a while back. And so it should still be on the shelf, so I'll be going through looking for that. And then there was a NeXT mouse in there, nice NeXT mouse. And some other stuff here. But this is the stuff that really intrigues me. Oh yeah, I hadn't seen this type folder before. It's like a NeXT folder where they send the peripheral catalog, and you know, it's announcing NeXT World, and there's some cool brochures and articles, and then the peripherals catalog from '90, which is kind of neat. And I don't know if there was a NeXT logo on this. Yeah, there is. Check that out. So it's actually a nice kind of a plastic binder with the NeXT logo. So that's something new I haven't seen before in all my years of doing this. Sorry for winging it, but I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. So some neat articles that I haven't seen. Schmoozing the Cube. And workstation for the price of a little Mac. New Year's wish list for owners. I'm going to be going through all this stuff. This is like, you know, I'm stoked. Have you guys seen this? I don't think I've ever seen these. What's next? So that must have been the name of this little brochure. That looks like a Mandelbrot app. And here's Lotus. So this is what he was working on. And so I'll set those over. A NeXT t-shirt still in the bag, which is kind of cool. Now I'm thinking these might be that the 2.1 documentation Sungwon that we need. It's actually still shrink wrapped. I'm going to open it up and take a look at the dates, because we can match the date with the part numbers, and then I'll look in the glossary. But along with that, we had some displayed postscript. If anybody's interested in any of these books, I will have them for sale as well. And these ones I may keep because I just have never seen most of these. And it's on display postscript programming, which is really kind of cool. Now, if anybody out there is programming and display postscript, let me know. Maybe I could work out kind of a library deal, where I'd check it out to you if you need it. Or maybe we can figure out a way to scan them in, because I think it'd be kind of cool to share with the community, and it may offer some insight. Now, this shirt really intrigues me because it is an actual black turtleneck with the NeXT logo on it. And I found it in some stuff that was from Gary Bradfield. And it'd be interesting to get a DNA check on it if that's possible. See if it's actually possibly Steve Jobs himself. Keep this shirt as his fare, because Gary would set up the dog and pony shows that they would do when they went around the country. This one's kind of cool too. We've taken the next step. It had the canvas bag. Also had a couple stickers, the Lotus Improv box, and one of those cube brochures. And got a couple more over here. Sorry, I'm hobbling around. And this, I like this one. NeXT International Developers Conference from '92. And the back, what is that? Back Bay Team, July 90. So I'll have to see if I recognize. Well, I know Robert LaFurla. So it'll be interesting to read through those signatures and see what that's all about. Maybe Steve Jobs is in there himself. And I've got Kurt's system over here, and I'm working on, I've got a cube optical disc from him as well that I'm going to fire up here in a minute. But just you guys might get a kick out of seeing all the stuff that came in. I've got, a bunch of boxes up by the front. I'm probably going to work a couple more hours tonight. I'm trying to get this done. I may just, see how much I can get done for as she's going to be heading back up tomorrow evening. I think I can get most of it done. So stay tuned. More fun stuff to come from the black hole. And Sungwon, I know, I think we struck gold with the documentation. So, now I have the exact stuff that we need to look for you. And, this set of docs here might be the perfect set. Because I think you'd mentioned writing loadable kernel servers, sound and music. There's a lot of DSP stuff. And I have a set of these manuals, I think, that's not shrink wrapped. So I might want to keep that for the display. You can probably hear the fireworks going off. It's still the 4th of July, a little after midnight. And it's been kind of crazy around here. Have a good evening and happy 4th. I'm working on the 4th. Well, now it's the 5th, so it's all good. Have a good day.